Peter van Vlokhoven.
Well, he seems like a nice guy.
We're out here, brothers. And tonight we're speaking with Peter van Vlokhoven. Bitch! Don't stop!
Peter likes to move it, move it. Peter likes to move it, move it. Peter likes to move it, move it. He likes to move it. Yo, this is the original Mad Stunt Man. This is the original Move It Man. And right now, you're listening to Peter on the Winkelwagen Show. Right? Move it.
Here she is. The one and only...
What's up? It's Beth
Hart. Wow, great to have you on the show.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
What's the combination with you and Holland? Because Beth Hart is Holland, Holland is Beth Hart. It's unbelievable.
I think that a friend of mine, when I was younger, put a spell on me. And this is what he said. This is many years ago. I was around 20. I had very little going on in my career. I was touring a little bit in the United States. I'd won a little TV show called Star Search, but I really hadn't gotten my big record deal or anything like that yet and really gotten going. I just did an independent record, and he pulled me to the side. He was an Israeli guy named Ami, and he pulled me to the side and he said, Beth, I predict that you and Holland are going to have a great connection. I think that the people there are going to embrace what you are and you know what you do with music and stuff. And anyway, isn't that something? He said that, and it came true.
It's unbelievable. It sounds like a fairy tale.
I know, and I'm so thankful and grateful. Oh my gosh!
But in the early 90s, you won a contest, $100,000.
Yeah.
But there was no breakthrough.
No, there was no break because at that time, the kind of show that I did wasn't like the ones today where they're really popular. It had already waned in its popularity, so it was on like in the middle of the night, on cable, when no one had cable back in those days. So it wasn't a big deal. And then I did get a record deal, but the first record, it did well in a few tiny places and then it went away. And then I did another record and that did really well, but then I fell apart with drugs and alcohol. I just couldn't handle it. I was out of my mind. And then when I ruined my career, my life was pretty much over in terms of being able to work. And then as I started to get well and sober and kind of find my way back into living, I got really fortunate with my ex owner of Atlantic giving me some money to make a really great record, and we made Leave the Light On. And when I made it, it was only 3 countries that embraced me. It was Holland, Denmark, and it was New Zealand.
What's your biggest wish?
To make my husband is so happy for every day that he's alive with me for the rest of my life.
Is that a problem?
Huh?
Is that a problem?
Well, of course it is, because I'm a psycho. You know what I'm saying? I got a lot of freaking issues, man. So it's like every day I got to wake up and go, oh my God, please God, help me to not be a total asshole today and be really good to my husband. So yes, it is definitely a quest to make him feel so much love and joy. That's what he deserves. He's been an amazing husband to me. Unbelievable.
Beth, thank you so much and have a nice gig here in Holland.
God, you're so welcome. It's so good to see you, handsome man. So good to see you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. That was so nice. You're so good at what you do.
Hi there, this is Roger Hodgson, and I'll be with Peter on the Winkelwagen Show later. I hope you can tune in and join us.
Hi, this is Billy Ocean on the Winkelwagen Show with Peter.
Hi, this is Sheila E., and you're listening to the Winkelwagen Show.
Hey, this is Joe from Fiction Plane. You're listening to Winkelwagen Show. Ik vind stroopwafels lekkerder dan poffertjes.
When we were here before, looked us in the eye. He said, I am Peter. Don't call me a cheater. I'm running a show on your radio. I think I am special, so fucking special. But he's a freak. He's that widow. He's on your radio with the Winkelwagen Show.
Hey there, this is Luca Bloom. You're listening to Winkelwagen. I'm having a good time here with Peter.
Hi, I'm Noel Hogan from the Cranberries. You're listening to the Winkelwagen Show.
It's a wonderful day in Europe and you're gonna listen to a compilation of my radio show. I'm a teacher, I'm disabled, sitting in a wheelchair. I have a network with all artists all over the world. They come to me and send us the new promos and give me interviews and more and more and more. So sit down and listen, because this is just a little taste of what happens in my show.
Peter, please don't let me down and don't make me wait any much longer, because I'm just gonna go crazy.
It's John Lilly from the Hooters, and you're listening to Peter, the coolest of the cool.
My favorite manager in Europe is Jose Mourinho. He's the greatest, man.
Do you ever met him?
Yeah, man. Funny you should say that. I met him once.
Yes? Talk about football.
I met him in Liverpool in the hotel lift.
Okay.
And I think when I approached him, he thought he must have thought, who's this fellow? But then when I told him who I was, he knew my music, and yeah, we had a nice rap, man.
Okay.
In fact, we got a nice photograph together. It's probably my favorite photograph.
You've heard of The Voice. You've heard of the X Factor. But now, get ready for the Winkelwagen Show.
Hi, this is Billy Ocean on the Winkelwagen Show with Peter.
Hi, this is Leah Capel. I'm originally from Chicago, Illinois, but I've been living in sunny Los Angeles for about 3 years now. The song you're about to hear is called Joshua, which I wrote with my good friend and drummer, Haley Brownell. It's a song about freedom, friendship, and feeling on top of the world, which I think everyone can use a little bit of now and again. It's inspired by a road trip I took down to Joshua Tree National Park right when I moved to California, and was a really, really wonderful trip. And that's one of the most beautiful parks I've ever seen. Again, this is Leah Capel. You can find me on Facebook at Leah Capel Music and on Instagram and Twitter at Leah Capel. The song you're about to hear is called Joshua, and this is the Winkelwagen Show. Thank you for listening.
Hi, folks, this is Doug DeForest, and you're listening to Peter on the Winkelwagen Show. More fun than a giant panakoken with a side of them good old stroopwafels. Lekker ding.
Hey, this is Joe from Fiction Plane. You're listening to Winkelwagen Show. Ik vind stroopwafels lekkerder than poffertjes.
Hey yo, what it do? Poe Black Eye Chill. You're now tuned in to the Winkelwagen Show. Check out my new single, Punching the Clock, produced by Zaytoven. NC in the building, South Cac, stand up. USA, where you at? Let's go.
Hello, Rich. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, man. Thanks for having me.
Okay.
Thanks for having me very much. I'm very happy.
Can you tell me, where did the music start in your life?
The music started in my life when I was in high school. When I was in about the 9th grade, I just started to sing, and it seemed like I was really good at it. So I kept going, and I kept practicing, and I kept working and producing and writing and singing, and I got really good really fast.
What's your style?
My style is, people compare me to Usher a lot. It's R&B, hip-hop, it's R&B soul, it's R&B pop, it's all three of those genres.
So, Usher also influenced your music style?
Usher was my biggest influence. I've idolized Usher since I was 12 years old. He's been my biggest influence.
What is his secret?
His secret is being an incredible showman, along with being an incredible singer, and just overall performer, and I feel like I can also maybe one day become that.
Okay.
I practice all the time. I rehearse. I'm in rehearsal 4 times a week. I'm working out. I do vocal exercises for my voice to make sure I can sound the way I need to sound on stage. I do everything I need to do for myself.
Right now, you're listening to the Winkelwagen Show.
I have a record for you here in my studio. Get Enough. That's an old record, I guess.
Yeah, Get Enough is actually a record I recorded almost 2 years ago, but people see it's really now just getting legs and growing legs, and people are now hearing it, but I recorded it 2 years ago.
But now in America you have new songs, I guess.
Yes, I have a lot of new music, but as of right now, we're still just focusing on Get Enough to make sure it goes as far as it can go before I put out anything else new.
So the promo in Europe is Get Enough. What do you expect from that song?
I hope that I can chart across the world. I hope that I can chart in America. As of right now in Europe, I'm number 188 on the charts. I'm hoping I can chart here in America, and I can get just a lot of recognition for the song and get people to really love it and, make it a classic.
Is the intergalactic operator? Yes, it's me again, after 31 of your Earth years, and still Mrs. P.R. Johnson is trying to reach her husband, though he is only aged 5 years due to space-time stretching. So here she is, with Clouds Across the Moon, 2017 liftoff. And I hope it lifts off all you Earthlings, too.
Hallo, halve zolen van de planeet Aarde.
Good evening. This is the intergalactic operator. Can I help you?
Yes, I'm trying to reach Flight Commander P.R. Johnson on Mars Flight 247.
Hold on, please. Yes, sir.
Thank you, operator.
Hi, darling. How you doing? Hey, baby.
Can you surprise us with a song of 10cc?
I can indeed.
Okay.
If you wish.
Yeah, of course.
Okay,
You're now in the studio, so play on.
I'll do possibly their most famous tune.
Not in love, so don't forget it. It's just a silly phase I'm going through. And just because I call you up, don't get me wrong, don't think you've got it made.
Sir, yes, sir.
Over the years, the Winkelwagen Show has interviewed some of the biggest names in music. But today,
Ladies and gentlemen,
we have a true music legend. Ladies and gentlemen, get ready for Phil Collins. The Winkelwagen Show.
A few times ago, I tuned in an old classic from the Hooters in my show. Remember All Your Zombies. And so many people ask me, "Hi, yo, Peter, what happened with those guys? And what are they doing nowadays?" Time for a search, and I'm proud to present you Eric Brazilian in my show. Live from Philly, USA. Eric, welcome in my show.
Thank you so much. It's so nice to be here.
Also for me, a wonderful day. Digging in your history. The piano was very important in your young life. Your mom playing piano on a professional way, and you got some lessons at the age of 9. What makes the piano so special for you in those days?
I think I just loved seeing my mother play it, hearing her play it, seeing how much joy she got from it. I actually started taking piano lessons when I was 6, but I did not have the patience. I wanted to skip ahead to the hard parts, and my teacher didn't have much patience. I remember one day I got tired of it, and I just put the book away and said, "I'm going to play by ear from now on." And then I discovered the guitar when I was 9.
What happened when you saw the Beatles on the Ed Sullivan Show?
My life was changed forever. I was part of an entire generation of young boys and girls who saw the Beatles and said, "That's what I want. I want to do that."
They influenced your music style?
They changed my life. They created my music style.
Oh.
I mean, I'd already had the background of hearing classical music around the house, and I'd been playing folk music on the guitar, but seeing them, I just saw the joy that they had, and just hearing the musicality that they had, the songwriting and the way they played. I wanted to be all 4 of them. I wanted to be cute and charismatic like Paul. I wanted to be dry and funny like John. I wanted to be a guitar nerd like George, and I wanted to have as much fun as Ringo. I've gotten to do all of those things, and I still get to do them.
Your first band, do you remember it? Evil Seed.
I do.
I can't fight.
There's nothing.
Nothing.
I actually just found I actually was just contacted by the manager that we had in that band, that band, who gave me some recordings.
Oh.
The only existing recordings, which I am going to put up eventually.
How was that sound?
It was kind of blues rock. You know, we were playing a lot of the covers we did were like Cream and Jimi Hendrix, some Beatles. But I was really at that time all I wanted to do was be a guitar hero.
Okay.
I wanted to be Eric Clapton and Jeff Beck, you know, all those guys.
After Evil Seed, you formed Baby Grand. Can you describe that music style?
That music style was much more progressive, sort of like Steely Dan on steroids, sort of a heavier rock version of Steely Dan. Yeah, there was a lot of you know, jazz fusion elements in it. A really complex songwriting. I wasn't really involved in the writing in that band until later on. That was really Rob Hyman, my partner in the Hooters, and the singer. We had a singer in that band. I learned about songwriting from working with them.
It's time for the first song. Do you remember Much Too Much?
I do, of course I remember that.
What can you tell me about that song?
I believe it was originally called Real Life Modern Romance, which is a line in the song. And yeah, that was a song that Rob and David wrote, and they played me the first version of it, and I had all kinds of ideas for guitar parts, and I played a couple of ripping guitar solos in that. I do remember that.
Right now, you're listening to the Winkle Wagon Show.
Together with Rob Hyman, you formed the Hooters. Who was the one who came with the name The Hooters?
That was a series of events that led to that name. We started out as a ska and reggae band, and one of the artists that we really liked was Augustus Pablo, who really just all he did was play melodica over reggae tracks. So we thought it would be cool to try melodica. I had some friends who had a band that I was producing at the time that had a melodica that we borrowed, and when we pulled it out to record it in our first demo session, the engineer said, "Let me hear that hooter." So we said, "Okay, we're going to call the melodica a hooter." And then for some reason, we decided to name the band after that. It's sort of our signature sound.
You got some hits like Rescue and All Your Zombies. They got a lot of airplay on the local radio stations in Philly. How important was that for you, that start?
It was huge. I mean, we were like the Beatles in Philadelphia. You know, I mean, we were getting as much airplay on the radio as anyone.
Can you feel it, baby? Can you feel it, baby? Can you feel it, baby? This is Winkle Wagon from your case, man. Wicked every time, right? This is the Mad Stuntman, and you're listening to the Winkle Wagon Show.
Can you feel it, baby? 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 This is Mad Stuntman on your case.
Hello, Eddie.
Hi, Peter. How are you?
I'm doing fine. And you?
Good. Not as well as you, but better than most people.
Good to have you on my show. Because there's so many things to tell about Eddie Grant.
Yes.
The history.
Yes.
And the music is timeless. Because every time when I hear your song on the radio, I think to myself, it's the song from yesterday. So,
thank you very much.
It's so timeless. Can you tell me something about your history? 1960, you came with your family to London, and what happens then?
Well, I went to school. I was 12 years old. I went to school in a place called Kentish Town. And there I started really getting into music and studying like everybody else who goes to comprehensive school. While there, I made a guitar, which was my first guitar. I was playing trumpet at the time. I was invited by some guys to go and jam in Archway, which is, you may know from the Kinks. because Ray Davis and his band came from around there. So my drummer came from that area, and we went up there to practice, and gradually the number of people got smaller and smaller until eventually I said to John, the drummer, we should form a band. And he said, yeah, and we should call it the Equals, because each one of us would have an equal vote.
The Eagles, it was a special group, a special formation, because?
Well, the band was a multiracial band.
Yes.
Which, and the multiracial boy band, not really grown-up men, we were kids together, which was unusual. There wasn't one at the time in England. And then they became, of course, many years later, the Two-Tone and Sly and the Family Stone and all these other bands became known as well for having a mixed race band.
The first single of the Eagles got a lot of airplay on the radio, but it wasn't a hit.
Well, that's true. The very first recording that the Eagles made was I Won't Be There. It got a little airplay in some dark areas, but we sold about 300 records. And but that didn't stop us, because the very next record was going to go on to make history.
Hi, we are the Baseballs, and you're listening to the Winkelwagenshow. You were right, but I'm your darling to enjoy the party. You were right, but I'm your darling to enjoy the party. You were right, but I'm your darling to enjoy the party. You were right, you were right, you were right. I just came to say hello. I just came around, round and round and round. I just came around, round and round and round. I just came around, round and round and round. I just came around, round and round. Hoo up, I just came to say hello. I just came to say hello.
De Winkelwagenshow.
Mike Scavoon. Mike, welcome in the show.
Hey, good to be here. How you doing?
I'm doing fine. You're the man of Ram Jam.
Yeah, I guess I am.
So many people ask me something about that song. They want to know the story behind the records. Can you tell me the story of Jam's Blackberry?
Oh, that's a long story.
I have time enough. Let's go.
Okay, good. Well, we're going to use up that time then.
Okay, man.
Story really goes back to, as far as Ram Jam itself doing it, that was all Bill Bartlett, our guitar player, who was also the guitar player for the Lemon Pipers. They had that song Green Tambourine back in the 60s. He was the one that discovered the Leadbelly version of that song. Now, Leadbelly and Leadbelly's estate has the publishing rights on that song and the writer's royalties on that song. But I found out from somebody over there in Netherlands, in fact, that Leadbelly did not write the song, but the song was originally recorded probably a year or two prior to Leadbelly copywriting this song, going back now to 1933, 1934. That's how long ago that song was first recorded, and it was done by a guy named James Ironhead Baker, which Alan Lomax had recorded in prison. Mm-hmm. So you had Ironhead Baker singing, "Whoa, Black Betty," and all the inmates behind him singing, "Bam-a-lam," and that's how the song went. And even Leadbelly's version is just Leadbelly by himself clapping his hands, and his version was more of, "Oh, Black Betty, bam-a-lam, whoa, Black Betty, bam-a-lam, Black Betty had a baby, bam-a-lam, damn thing went crazy." And then Bill Bartlett got a hold of the song and put all those guitar riffs and drum solos and everything else behind that, and wrote a couple more verses to it, in fact, because the song, Leadbelly's version, was really the middle section of a 3-song medley and had really just one verse and one chorus. So Bill Bartlett is really the one that should get all the credit for that song, but he gets nothing for writer's royalties, unfortunately. And, you know, we picked up that song in 1975, 76, and recorded it with Casanets and Cats in Long Island, and put it out then.
Okay.
On Epic Records.
Okay, but that song was totally different.
Different. Well, Bill Bartlett, like I said, is the one who really rearranged that whole thing. I was a drummer in a band called Sauce at the time, working in Casanets and Cats' studio. And they were looking for, basically for a frontman and a singer for Ram Jam. And the guy that was actually the lead singer in Sauce, they had approached him and said, look, we're looking for somebody. Would you like to do this? Because we were doing studio work. We were there for about 2.5, 3 years just playing tracks for songwriters that Casanets and Cats had signed. And when he mentioned it to him, he said, nah, you should talk to Mike because he's much more of a rock and roll singer than I am. And so they asked me to try, and I did, and everything is history after that.
Limal! Hi, Limal. How you doing, man?
Good afternoon, Peter.
Hi. How you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
I'm very fine. You're the man of the never-ending story.
Yes, I am that man.
What was first, the song or the movie?
The book.
The book? Yeah, of course, it was a book.
I think the movie came first. I think they were already discussing the soundtrack with the big producer, Giorgio Moroder. And then, I guess as he composed the music with his team, they needed a theme song, and so probably the theme song came in the process of composing the music for the film.
And so they call you and they said, hey Limal, can you sing a song for us?
Well, I was working in Tokyo at a big event, the Tokyo Music Festival, and Giorgio Moroder was there, and I was there. And my manager and Giorgio had a dinner together. My manager probably told him the best thing since sliced bread, which of course I am.
Nice.
And, my manager at that time was a great entrepreneur. He was a great salesman. He was also the early manager for Rod Stewart. So he really had some great stories to tell. He was a great character. And I think that he basically said to Giorgio, you need Limal. He got me the gig.
Turn around, look at what you see.
We gotta talk about the number One World.
Yeah.
And I told my listeners that One World was very often a B-side on the singles of Brothers in Arms. Is there a reason for?
I'm going to be really brutally honest with you here, Peter. I had forgotten that One World was on the album.
What?
I had forgotten. We didn't play it. I think we played it maybe 2 times in rehearsal. I'm not sure that we ever played it on a show. And I'm embarrassed to say I'd actually forgotten that it was there. And I remember sometime later, some years later, somebody was talking with Mark about One World, and he said something like, I don't really believe that anymore, what I said in that song. Something like that. And I wonder if that was the case right back there at the beginning when we were starting the tour. I don't remember playing One World.
Do you remember the song?
I can't remember it now, no. I can't. That's embarrassing. I'm going to have to go and dig the album out now and have a listen.
Unbelievable.
You're going to play it, aren't you? Are you going to play it, Peter?
Yeah, of course. Shall we listen to it?
Yeah, let's listen to it.
Okay, give it an ID. You know still the title? One World. Okay, there we go. Do it.
This is the Winkelwagen Show, and this is a song I don't know very well called One World.
It's
Peter on the Winkle Wagon Show, come on. With P&P from the Winkle Wagon Show, come on. It's Peter on the Winkle Wagon Show, come on. With P&P from the Winkle Wagon Show, come on. It's Peter on the Winkle Wagon Show, come on. With P&P from the Winkle Wagon Show, come on. It's Peter on the Winkle Wagon Show, come on. With P&P from the Winkle Wagon Show, come on. From the Netherlands to the Meadowlands, from Tokyo to the South Side Chicago, we invading your satellite. The Winkle Wagon Show is worldwide. It's Peter on the Winkle Wagon Show, come on. With P&P from the Winkle Wagon Show, come on. It's Peter on the Winkle Wagon Show, come on. With P&P from the Winkle Wagon Show, come on. Come on. Come on.